Morning guys, just doing my last couple of little checks as always. But yeah, I think I'm ready to go live and finish off the build. Which is obviously quite handy because I'm trying to get the video out later on this evening. Description, morning. Yeah, first. Although I don't think there's many people on, so this is quite an early stream. So I'm not sure how many people will be joining us. But yeah, so basically I'm going to be finishing off the build. Well, finish off the build. I'm going to be doing the painting. So let's do that one. So yeah, I finished building the fit bits, giving it some undercoat, primer, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm going to, well, attempt to paint it. Although it's going to be quite a simple sort of paint job on this one. Basically, I'm just going to do a bit of brown and some washes. And I'm going to get some silver. Basically, I'm going to do like lots of dry brushing on this. Just because obviously I don't want it to look too shiny, neat, new, whatever. I want it to look quite sort of old, rustic, derelict. Yeah, sort of dystopian look. So yeah, quite a simple little paint job. But yeah, so I finished it off last night. I'm pleased with how it looks. So say my main sort of thinking behind this is obviously then you can just make loads more of these kind of like platforms, bits and pieces on them. And you can just build this up to be obviously as big or as little as you want, really. So, yeah. Peter de Jonge, is that? It's definitely early. It is early. Yeah, I've literally sort of done the school run, got back, got a few bits ready. I say, obviously I need to get this painted just so I can edit the rest of the video and get this out tonight, is my plan. So I was going to do this, so I'll get this out tomorrow. But I'm at a wedding tomorrow, which means I can't do like a premiere video, so like watch it with you guys. So that's why I thought I'd bring it early, and I'm going to get this done for today, basically. But say, because it is quite a simple paint job, it's not going to take me long to get this painted. I say, yeah, basically some brown. I've got some of the old like the wash sort of stuff, the rust effect wash, and then I've got some like little stencil thingies I'm going to cut out. Just to have a few of these on here. Again, I think just making the stencils, obviously a nice little cheap thing to do, but it does make a lot of difference to whatever piece you're making, especially obviously terrain and vehicles. Having like army numbers, yeah, really adds that little bit extra to it. Steve, need more coffee, late night last night. Oh no. Well, you've done well getting up early, mate. Right, so again, I've got to film obviously parts of this because obviously this is like the end of what I've been doing so far. So yeah, definitely need to be filming this, otherwise, well, there'll be no end to the video. So I say, I'm not sure this will be probably quite a short stream. Well, I always say that, then I waffle on it, it takes forever. But say literally all I'm going to be doing is going over this with a sort of like a brown, but again I'm doing dry brushing, so it'll be a brown dry brush. Then a bit of silver dry brush just to sort of hit the edges, make it look like the metal's been sort of like rubbed away. Going to do a bit of a wash here and there, maybe a few sort of like rusty patches, and then say going to cut these little stencils out and sort of dab these in a couple of places. And it's definitely going to be one on the front of the cylinder, maybe one on the back or the top, and then these are going to be like the old yellow worn-in chevron things. They'll just be on the floor in a couple of places maybe, and then that should be it. And then say then obviously I'll spend a few hours editing the video, editing this all together just so it's ready to come out later on this evening. So this video is going to be out about 8 o'clock this evening. I'm going to do a live stream between 6 and 8, just because I'm expecting a few deliveries today. Yeah, Army Painter are sending me some stuff, and there's another company, and as you can tell obviously my cutting mat's a mess. Well, it's even worse obviously underneath, because that's why I turned it over to this side. But now this side started to warp, because obviously I've been heating it up and doing other little bits. So yes, there's a company I'm now working with that are going to be sending me some cutting mats and cutting tools. So I'll be showing them off later, and obviously leaving descriptions down below. Don't use an airbrush for the brown. I use my brown primer as a rust underground. Yeah, well, say I've given it. Well, what this actually did is I painted these or sprayed these black with a primer, and then I've got a copper, and I sprayed it from a big distance, so they just like hit a few areas. because I was going to have it like a copper sort of colour, and then use the sort of the light blue as like the wearing of it. But it looked too shiny, and I didn't like that, so that's why I kind of went over it again with the black. And now I say I'm just going to dry brush some of this stuff on. I have got an air gun. I've only used it a few times. Yeah, I'd need more practice. So that's why dry brushing. I like dry brushing. Nice and simple. It's quick. And also because you're dry brushing, everything dries really quick. Because obviously it's a very sort of thin layer of paint, basically. Roger that 42. Hello there. Hello, buddy. You're all right. Friendly attack one. Good work. Recycling. Yeah, say it's good, especially sprues. I mean, everyone's got sprues. Obviously, I've got loads of sprues because you lovely guys sent me loads. So I've still got a lot of sprues. Right, just give my the lens on my phone a little wipe. Oh, my nose. Hey, yeah. Oh, I blew my socks off. Right. So obviously, let's just film it being primed. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, I just broke a bit off, but we'll glue that back on in a minute. Oh, let's get the silver. And show that we're going to do some dry brushing. Glue that bit back on that I just broke off. So how is everyone? Everyone okay this morning? Yeah, in the UK it is grey outside. It's not cold, but it's grey, miserable, and it does look like it's going to throw it down any moment. But so it's quite surprising. Did the school run, and yeah, it's quite mild out there, which I say is surprising. Obviously October, it's starting to get colder. Obviously it gets darker a lot earlier. And yeah, it's pretty miserable out there. Yeah, so there's only one problem though with these plates. Obviously, whenever I say the Yui Gooey stuff, obviously say it takes about 7-8 hours to dry, but unfortunately, it's still obviously curing or drying because it is starting to warp a little bit. So I think if I did these again, what I would do, make the panels and then leave books on top of them and leave them for 2-3 days. Just in case, say, because obviously when this stuff, the Yui Gooey stuff starts to, obviously the acetone evaporates, they start to sort of shrink and pull in. I mean, that's why it's starting to cause, obviously it's gone along flat and then it's gone up a little bit. So as this stuff, obviously the Yui Gooey stuff is sort of shrinking, evaporating, it's like squishing in. So yes, I mean, next time I do some panels, I will leave books on top for a good 2-3 days just to keep them flatter. I mean, some builds it doesn't matter, but obviously in these ones where you want them to sort of like line up, the fact that it goes up even a little bit is enough to make it, as you can see, the old railings at the top, I can probably just about see, don't quite meet, whereas they used to meet perfect. Whereas now there's a bit of a gap. But again, this kind of build, it doesn't really matter too much because obviously it's going to look like a derelict sort of place. So, yeah. Friendly attack one. Edible miniatures is the next big thing. Baked necrons. Yeah, I don't know about eating miniatures. Jelly babies, yeah, maybe. Right, let's crack on and get this done. Say, because obviously I need to get this done. Then obviously edit it, get some more pictures of it, and yeah, basically get it ready for its highlight this evening. So my desk is a lot neater now. I tidied it up last night, got rid of all the sprues and bits and pieces, although there's a bit there. Yeah, just because my desk was pretty messy for the whole of yesterday. And I do find it difficult working in a messy sort of environment. Can I use the squishy effect, squishy property as an effect somehow? Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't mind so much if it was somewhere near the front. But it's just because it's at the back, obviously that's where it sort of lines up. If it was at the front, then yeah, it just looked like the metal's been warped or blown up or shot. Or yeah, I mean you can certainly incorporate it more into whatever the build is. But say it doesn't bother me too much because it is just a case of every now and then you just need to kind of like sort of tweak it back to get it flat. But say it is just keep warping a little bit. It could be dramatic in a D&D context. The dungeon master devours a hero. Yeah, nah, it's fine. So yeah, it's a shame because today is Army Painter have sent me loads of paints and they're turning up sometime today. And it's a shame they haven't turned up already because I haven't got many different types of brown, sort of like to choose from. So I'm going to go with this one because I wanted a lightish brown. I didn't want a too dark brown because I want a fairly light brown, just because then I can add sort of darker brown to make rusty effects and bits and pieces. So I'm using Martian brown. Obviously this isn't Martian, but that's fine. I should have shaken this off camera because I'm going to be shaking this for the next sort of minute or two. Yeah, so later on today, it's quite a good day today. I've got 2 deliveries turning up. One's from Army Painter. It's going to be a lot of paints, and they've also sent me a couple of box sets of it's like terrain stuff. So obviously how to make terrain. There'll be some like foam boards, hopefully a foam cutter, bits of grass, leaves, debris, and there's also some primer paint. You can actually paint on the XPS foam, whereas normally you paint on spray paint XPS foam and it obviously dissolves it. But they've got some paint spray that doesn't dissolve XPS foam basically. Comerton, good morning, hello. Hope you're all well. Ugh. Friendly attack 1, good crafting, off to work, enjoy. I will enjoy, I hope work's not too bad for you and you do a job that you kind of like or enjoy. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, plus the paints the Army Painter are sending me, they're sending me like one of these box set thingies and it comes with loads of ball bearings. So obviously you put a couple of those in each of these droppers, so when you shake it, obviously the ball bearings fly around and just to help mix the paint in. Well, I say, I've had the Army War paints for well over a year, and a lot of them have been there and I've not even used them or done anything with them. And literally I've gone to get one, given it a shake for 30 seconds and it's come out fine. Even though you think after a year all the good stuff would sink to the bottom. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose. So I've been having problems with my nose and a bit of a cold all week. And I say last night, this morning, my nose is just so itchy. So yeah, so you may see me sneeze or attempt to sneeze or part sneeze or not sneeze quite a bit. Right. Again, I've got to keep remembering the film bits here because obviously this is like the final part of the video that's going to be out tonight, basically. So I say, definitely going to be dry brushing. Right, let's start over here. So the idea is to kind of like pretty much fully cover it, but obviously leave a few sort of gappy bits as well. Because I want to see some of the black obviously come through, just so it does look nice and sort of dark and dingy. And so that's why I like the old dry brushing, because it is a nice quick thing. Obviously you get a huge big chunky brush. It covers nice and quick, and obviously it dries lovely and quick because it is a very thin layer. That will probably do for that. I might do a little bit on one of the other ones. Yeah, so I did actually spray this copper because I love copper. I love the look of it. But the copper I've got, unfortunately, is like a shiny copper. And even though I sprayed it from a distance, so it only just sort of covered it, it still just looked too sort of shiny, too new. And obviously I really wanted this to look like a, well, yeah, a derelict, obviously, refinery. I mean, 'cause I might do this brown, and I might actually do like a darker brown just to sort of vary the shades and colours on the thing. But yeah, I'm kind of pleased. So it's just enough to make it obviously not look black. But yeah, I might do a couple of passes. We'll see. Lek McBender, good morning. Lek McBender. Want to say obviously German, but it could be anything. It could mean something different. But yeah, morning guys, hope you're all well. I say this is now obviously the final part of the turning sprues into some sort of Necromunda terrain. Again, going for like a modular sort of look, so this is something that you could, basically you could just obviously once a week or every other week you could like make another piece, add to it, and then within like a few months you'd have like a huge big area. And obviously using good old sprues just to reuse them so they're not just sitting around gathering dust. Right, let's get some more brown on here. Yeah, so guys, so this video will be out later this evening. Well, 8 PM UK time is when this video will be out. Obviously, I've been doing this live streaming for the last, 4 days? But obviously the video itself will be more like, I like my videos to be around about 10 minutes. I find 10 minutes quite a nice sort of time to sit and watch something. So generally, yeah, around sort of 10, maybe up to 15, but generally not much more than 15 minutes for videos. So I like to keep them sort of pretty sort of precise, concise, to the point, and not as much waffling as I do when I'm live streaming, that's for sure. Oh, I forgot a bit, I just glued it. So I've definitely enjoyed using these Gundam sprues as well. The fact that they're nice and round, so it's great for making railings and things, and just sort of general supports. They're pretty cool. Yeah. So say yeah, I'm definitely keeping the paint job on this nice and simple, not going overboard. So I really want it to look like it is just sort of like aged, old, yeah, and obviously not new. So brown dry brushing, bit of silver dry brushing, and then I might go over and do a bit of, so I've got the old rust wash, put some of that on, and maybe some darker brown in a few areas, just sort of make it look a bit rustier. But yeah, nice and simple really. Which would make, obviously making these kind of terrain pieces a lot simpler. Using old sprues, quick dry brush, job done, and obviously then you can get on to using it and playing with it and whatever else. Right, let's put a little bit more on. Another little German is correct. Cool. Let's do another little bit of filming. Yes, so I think this will be a much shorter stream than my last few streams. I say because it is pretty much all done apart from this little bit of painting. I just missed. So that Peter, it's Netherlands. It's misty where you are. Yeah, so the weather's definitely rotten out there. But good thing is I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying indoors. So I was going to finish this off, edit this video, and then I got weddings to edit as well. So I'll be kind of sitting at my desk for the rest of the day doing bits and pieces. I'll probably stick a movie on or something when I'm doing the editing for the weddings. So yeah, that's why I don't mind if it rains outside, because I'm not going out. I'm staying in. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with how these base plates have come out. You can't quite see it, but you can still see where the original like sprue was with the infills in. Yeah, you can't quite see it on your camera, but yeah, it looks good. So I say, nice little quick, easy bases. Yeah, and a good way of using up obviously sprues, which is cool. Right, I think that's kind of done. Yeah, as I say, it's just taking away that black. It's giving it a bit of colour. I think I'm going to go over with silver dry brush, and then see if I do need to do any other brown on it. But so I wanted it to look quite sort of dark and dingy, basically. And these are great. These are obviously the dry brushing. I use these are makeup brushes. Got them from Amazon, and I think there's about £5, and there was 12 brushes. I mean, there was 6 this big, and another 6 that were like half this size. But obviously the brushes are like super soft, and they wash really well, as in like hot water makes them. So obviously that's the great thing about using like acrylic paints, because it's a water-based paint. Just running it under the tap, and yeah, it cleans it straight away. But yeah, good brushes to use, I think. How do you get the bubbles out? Because Platon? Oh, sorry, Lek, I'm not sure what you're asking. How do I get the bubbles out? Bubbles out of what? I'm not too sure. Rick, good morning. Good morning to you, Rick. And Zine, is that a Game Boy I spy by the monitor? It is. Yes. Yes, it's a yeah, and it still works. And guess what game it's got on it? It's got good old Tetris. I can't quite reach it because we're on the other side. I'm gonna go and get it. Yeah, obviously being a big kid, I've always had electronic games and like Xbox consoles and PlayStations and all that. And yeah, obviously back in the day, it was good old Game Boy. Can't quite get it out, but yeah, Tetris. Good old game. So yeah, I've had this for, I don't know when I bought this. Probably when they first came out, because say generally, especially before I had kids, whatever new console, game system, whatever it might have been, I bought it straight away. Just because obviously I love playing games. I mean, the first thing I ever bought was a ZX81. Then I bought a Spectrum. And then it was a BBC computer. And then it would have been all like the consoles, like computer gaming consoles. But yeah, big kid, love playing games. Well, I obviously haven't played that game for a long time. But yeah, my kids thought it was quite funny. They quite liked it. And so the fact that it still works, pretty cool. Steve, good old Poundland. Oh yeah. Well, again, I would go, but say I don't like going to shops. I honestly don't like going to the shops, even though there's a Poundland literally, 5 minutes in the car, 15 minutes if you walk. But yeah, I am sometimes that lazy. It's like yesterday, the kids were over and one of them messed about with my stapler and broke my stapler. Rather than popping out today just to say like Poundland, Will goes to buy a stapler, I went on Amazon and bought a £3 stapler. But say I can't understand how they can like deliver something for £3. I mean, it's probably cost more to pay the delivery driver to come and deliver this thing. It's only worth £3. But So description, playing any games at the moment? I'm not at the moment, but I will very, very soon be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Face-to-face sort of gaming. But yeah, I haven't played, like I say, before kids, I'd always have the sort of the main console that was out there. I'd buy games left, right and centre. And then as soon as kids came along, obviously money kind of disappears somewhere else. So yeah, I've got Xbox. Well, we've got 3 Xboxes. Talked about the kids and all that. But yeah, no, I used to play a lot of games. But no, haven't played much recently. There you go. And now I do the same sort of thing, but pardon me, but definitely a lot less than what I've just done. I'll film this as well. Might stay in, might not. So with the silver, I really try and get a lot off, so it really is very faint. You don't need a lot of it on there. And again, let's start with this piece. So it's great because it really is obviously just catching the very top parts, and even then only slightly. Alright, we'll stop that. What type of games do I normally play? I guess generally a lot of fighting games. Fighting, racing ones I used to like. I used to play some sort of like level platform games, but I was never that fussed on some of the platform ones, to be honest. I mean, obviously I played Sonic when that came out. But yeah, I guess more fighting ones. Fighting ones, driving ones. Yeah, so I love driving, sort of Crash, Demolition Derby, that sort of stuff, I guess. I mean, yeah, definitely, obviously more recently, well, say more recently, in regards to like open world stuff, yeah, I used to play World of Warcraft. Played that when it first came out, and played it kind of on and off for about 14 years. Yeah, I like GTA. Yeah, me and my son play that. We have the volume off. But yeah, we end up just sort of like chasing each other, crashing cars, and seeing the best ways we can roll cars or, yeah, just blow things up, really. Yeah, I like GTA. That's a fun game. You like the background music. Awesome. Yeah, me too. In fact, I might start using this kind of music in some of my videos, especially the videos where I'm doing more D&D style builds, makes, paints and stuff. Obviously this kind of music does fit in better with obviously D&D because it's I think it's medieval tavern music. Yeah, it's just nice. It's nice in the background. I say because normally when I'm painting, building, or doing something, I generally have more like movies or TV or something in the background rather than music. Get a little bit on the floor. And it's going to have a bit more. Yeah, so I'd love dry brushing. I just think it's probably one of the simplest kind of things. Well, other than contrast paints, because they're lovely as well. But I love dry brushing things because I know, say, you haven't got to be too neat, tidy. You can use a nice big brush. You can get it done real quick. It dries really quick, and yet it just, I mean, it's just a great way of adding a bit of colour to something. I say because this is going to be old, rusty, and that. then it doesn't need like solid block colours. Because I initially thought about maybe doing the like the gas cylinder tank thing, actually sort of painting that in a, I don't know, a green or a blue or something. And I thought, nah, because then it would stand out more against everything else. I didn't really want that, so that's why I say this literally is a very quick, easy sort of paint job, really. Steve had a ZX Spectrum as well. Yeah, again, I've still got mine. In fact, I think I've got two. I've got one that's taken apart, and another one that's obviously not taken apart. I don't think I've got the ZX81. Although it's funny, bought the ZX81, and I think it had 1K memory. I bought a game for it, and the game required to have 16K memory, and I didn't realise at the time, so obviously brand new to any of that kind of thing, and spent ages trying to get this game to work or to load, and it wouldn't. And then I can't remember how, or someone told me, oh no, you need to buy an expansion pack to go in the back of the ZX81 to give it 16K memory. And that's how bad these things were. I mean, this thing had 1K of memory, and it's like 1K. That's like, you couldn't even write a document, a letter. If you wrote like hi, that would take up 1K of memory, and this machine had just 1K. But yeah, but obviously, yeah, ZX Spectrum. I mean, that had colour graphics, because the ZX81 was black and white. But yeah, the Spectrum, yeah, it had colour games. Although, again, this is how bad things were. You'd get the game, it'd be on like cassette tape. And again, anyone young won't even know what cassette tape is. But you put the cassette tape obviously in a cassette, plug that into your your Spectrum, and then it would take about 3-4 minutes, maybe longer, I can't really remember, for the game to load. And all you'd hear is this whirring noise as it's loading up. But it could take 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it took, it'd get to the very end, and then it could crash and not work. And then you've got to sit there again, waiting for this thing to load up. Whereas now, obviously, you put a game in, bosh, you're on there, you're going. Yeah, the old days, eh? Good old Clive Sinclair, his little electric car. I think he died, didn't he, recently? Yeah, so I bought my first. So I bought the ZX81, but I bought it in 1982. Yeah, that was my first use of a kind of computer. Yeah, cool. Oh, how do I get the panels out, bubbles out of panels? Well, I haven't. I've left the. Did you see these panels when I first did them? Are they? I mean, again, I don't know how well you can see, but yeah, they have still got all the little holes. I left them in, but obviously you could get the Ooey Gooey Spruey stuff and fill these holes, and then obviously smooth them out. And if you need to, sand them. But you can probably smooth them out without even sanding. But yeah, no, I left any holes, imperfections. You see, there's loads over here. Yeah, I left them in just because it'll add to the effect of these metal panels having rust or being eaten by rust. So yeah, I didn't get the air bubbles out. Oh, Manic Miner. I used to love Manic Miner. Jump Jet Willy. Yeah, I used to play that one. And there was another one. Something egg. Not cookie egg, catchy egg. But again, it's a level kind of one. And you'd have a little bird, you'd run around, and there's other big birds. You've got to like jump and collect eggs. I got so good at that game, I could do all the levels and just keep doing them, and it never ended. Because I kind of got into a pattern of each level of which way to jump. Because there'd be like loads of like birds and things trying to kill you, and you like jump between levels. You go up and down ladders, jump downwards, and yeah, I don't know how many levels there was, but I could play that, and it never ended. I'll just keep going. Yeah. But yeah, Manic Miner, Jump Jet Willy. God, there's some names I've not said or heard for a while. Let's get a bit more silver on. So Alan Forbes, during work while a person is breaking into cars. Okay. Is that not something you should let the police know about? Fair enough. Chucky Egg, that's it. Victorian Ghost, thank you so much. Yeah, Chucky Egg. I say I got into a pattern of every level. I had a route that I did, and I could almost do it with my eyes shut. And yeah, I played that game, and it went on and on and on. And you know, you get your lives. When you completed so many things, you get like a bonus life. Well, the numbers went up that high. It started going into numbers, and there was like letters, and it was like, so you'd have like say 10E56T, and I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I had that many lives because I just played it and I could play it, and yeah, it never ended. Chucky Egg, oh wow, yeah, because that's bringing back memories now. More of me being a little kid at school, and yeah. Yeah, because that was all around the same sort of time that I started. Well, no, I think it was 1983. Yeah, because funny, I was having a little look at the old Dungeons and Dragons starter set, and it came out in 1983. Because I always thought I played it in 1982, but obviously I didn't because it didn't come out till 83. So yeah, 1983 I was playing D&D. So yeah, 1982 the Spectrum came out. I was playing that. Obviously still at school, and then yeah, 1983 saved my money up, and I got the D&D. And then I don't know, was it 83 or 84 maybe? I got the BBC computer. Oh, this thing's like a huge big box, and it was like the keyboard and the computer sort of built in, and obviously then you just plugged it into your normal TV. And obviously bearing in mind back then the normal TV, I mean they were what, about 30 inches, but they were like deeper than they were wide. Yeah, should call this the reminiscing channel. Come on here and just sort of talk about old stuff that a lot of these youngsters won't know about. Right. Yeah, I am happy with how these are looking. Ta-da! Bosh. Yeah, cool. Right, so yeah, I'm going to do. So I'm not even sure if I want to do. So I was going to do like the rust wash on it, but I think because it's so dark, I'm not too sure how much you're going to see of the wash. And I might. I was saying, yeah, I might have a go where these potholes are actually. I could have a go there, I guess. I'm not sure. Steve played 87 in the army, and an elf magic user. It's funny because I've got a box in my cupboard, and it's kind of like a box of obviously all the old stuff when I was at school. I've got some school books. They're in there. I've got all kinds of bits and pieces, and I have found my original book that's got my D&D characters in it. So I might actually dig them out and sort of bring them back to life. But obviously in 5e. But yeah, it's cool because I looked at them. Well, I looked at them 3-4 months ago. And it's quite cool to see the old names. Because I think one of them, I'm sure one of them might have been called Fergal Sharkey. And obviously Fergal Sharkey is a guy in a band, or might have been a band, but he's a singer. But he's obviously back in the 80s. And I'm sure one of my characters was called Fergal Sharkey. I'm not sure. There's another one called Bo Devil. Obviously a take on Bo Derek, who obviously back in the 80s was a hot or pin-up kind of lady. I think she's in her 60s or 70s now, but still probably hot because, yeah, very hot lady. Anyway. Right, need to film this. Obviously this is me cutting stencils up. So yeah, if you haven't used them before in sort of builds, obviously make your own stencils. I mean, you can buy them, but they're easy enough to make up. So I've got one that I've been using. I've used it about 3-4 times. A bit of paper, but I've used it quite a bit. But the numbers are a bit too big, so that's why I printed a new one. And I say I'm going to have a go at doing obviously some chevrons. So yeah, say this stream is going to be quite short because it is just me finishing this off. So I've got some more bits turning up later. And that's why I'm going to do another stream this evening at 6. So I'll be streaming this evening from 6 till 8. And then 8 o'clock is when this video will be going on. So yeah, hopefully you guys can sort of join me then as well. That'd be really cool. Yeah. Right, let's film me cutting this out. Right, let's. Right, there we go. Lisa, looking good. I'll have to go back to watch it. Cool. Yes, it's worth taking time, obviously, in cutting these out. It can be a little bit fiddly, obviously, depending on how small you make these. That's why the other one I made was actually a bit bigger than this, because obviously the bigger it is, the easier it is to cut, obviously. But yeah, so just take a bit of time. Obviously, make sure you get a nice sharp blade, which I changed my blade out just before I started, just to make sure it was obviously as sharp as it could be. There's one of my deliveries. Right, I'll be back in a second. Cool, there's one delivery down, one more to go. Let's get that back. Yeah, so what I'm doing, the delivery that's just turned up is actually a load of new cutting mats and some blades and a cutting ruler and stuff. Yeah, so what I'm doing is obviously, because most of the stuff I buy is from Amazon, but what I'm going to try and do now is buy or get more stuff from sort of like local companies, obviously smaller companies basically. Just because I know I've been hit hard by the old COVID and everything else, so yeah. So rather than obviously keep putting pockets in the guy that's rather rich, even though I love Amazon, I'm going to start trying to use and source more sort of like local sort of products. And say obviously one of them is loads and loads of got some cutting mats turned up. So later on, I'm obviously going to go through, show people what I've got, and obviously everything I buy, I am now going to put obviously links in the description, just to try and help everyone out basically. Plus, I like new cutting mats because this cutting mats it's seen better days. Obviously, the other side is worse because obviously that's the main cutting side with all the lines on. This is obviously the back of the cutting mat. But say this cutting mat, because I have done quite a few things with hot glue guns recently. This mat's now started to warp, and yeah, it's just not flat. So it's kind of dirty, it's uneven, and it's just like ugh. So it might not sound like much, but I'm really, really excited to get the new cutting mats out because they look obviously really, really nice and new. And yeah, I can't wait to get them out. It's quite sad, but I'm excited about cutting mats. But yeah, so I'm going to start trying to find sort of more bits and pieces to buy that are non-Amazon and obviously nearer me, and yeah, and put links to their websites and stuff. So yeah, there you go. Just thought I'd chuck that in. Cut everything out, not sure. Steve, 90% of the stuff I buy for workshop is local or from the UK. Got delivered from the warehouse today. Yeah, I should really say, especially because I know obviously COVID has hit all businesses really bad over the last obviously 18 months or more. So yeah, I am going to try and, I think my problem is obviously I'll go through Amazon because I know pretty much whatever I want they've got, and the next day delivery is obviously awesome. But yeah, I am going to start now looking at sort of more local companies and buying direct from local companies. Yeah, but I think that's the only thing I've got to try and get used to now is the fact that it won't be next day delivery. Well, I was saying that these were this was next day delivery because I only asked for these yesterday. So yeah, all do our little bit to help each other out. I say I'm going to start putting more links to, like say, the company that sent me these things. I will be putting links direct to them, obviously. Right, this is almost cut out. So this is where you need to be careful with these, and obviously take your time. You get to the last little bit, then if you think, oh, I'm just going to pull that, and obviously you pull it, and it just rips everything. There we go. There you go. Little O2. Magic. I'm going to have a biscuit because I'm hungry. I've got biscuits to my side now, so I'm not going to get hungry and silly and stuff. Lisa, I try to do that too, supporting local business. Love getting new stuff. Yeah, I love getting new stuff. Like our local comic book shop for Warhammer stuff. They're really struggling. Yeah, I think obviously everyone is, isn't they? Because obviously everyone's, if they've had their doors shut for a lot of that time over that 18 months, and yet they're still paying all the overheads, the rent and all that kind of stuff. I know for me it's kind of hit hard because, well, I've not done really many weddings, and the few weddings I have done are all from last year. And to make it even more worse, they're from last year, but some of them paid me in full the year before last year. So it's almost like doing weddings for free, but I love weddings. But obviously it wasn't free because I got paid. But I kind of got paid for a wedding almost 2 years ago. So yeah, so I am going to start sort of sourcing more local stuff. Although, to be honest, most of the stuff I use is kind of like paints, because obviously a lot of the building stuff is well, junk or scrap or stuff. Although I am building some more sort of terrain pieces, so that's obviously some bigger bits of XPS foam and PVA glue and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best at trying to support more local businesses, basically. I think I'll paint this one and then I'll cut the other one up. So I always find when painting stencils, get like an old sponge, cloth, whatever you want to call it, and then like dab it. So rather than like trying to brush it on, because if you brush it on you might get obviously underneath. Obviously this is only a bit of paper. So the idea is obviously just hold it up, get your paint, and then like dab. Plus I find when you dab as well, it's a less consistent looking sort of paint job. So it looks more like it's been sort of roughly put on, which obviously it has. Plus it looks like it's sort of wearing off in areas as well. I think I'll cut this a little bit smaller, just so it fits in nice. Descriptions, weddings, what is your job? I'm a wedding photographer. Yeah, wedding photographer. Or I also do videography as well. So I photograph and video weddings, basically. And I love it. I love weddings. I love photography. So yeah, ideal job. Obviously, if I could do YouTube full time, that would be even more of an ideal job. Because then I wouldn't have to go out on rainy days. But yeah, no, I love weddings. All right, there we go. So yeah, I mean, when I do this, obviously I just hold this. I mean, you probably could use some sort of low tack adhesive to like put this on there. Because it's only a small stencil, I should be able to hold it in place long enough for me to sort of dab it and then put it away, and it will leave the number. I might do. Should I do it at the top or down the bottom? We'll do both. I'm not sure. I'll go with biscuit while I decide. I think just painting it in a good old white is cool. Yeah, so anyone just joining, obviously I've been live streaming this week, turning Sprues into some sort of like Necromunda terrain. Obviously trying to make it modular so you can just sort of like move bits around and obviously change obviously how it looks. And the other good thing about making it modular, you can then just add more and more bits to it. So you could make this a huge sort of thing. Obviously in my case I've gone for like a gas refinery kind of looking thing. That's why I've tried to go for like some tubes and bits and pieces. But yeah, the fact that obviously you can just keep adding bits and making bits, you could make this a huge, obviously big sort of like wargaming tabletop area, really. So it's just a shame that that bit there just keeps bowing up. Keep pushing it down, and so unfortunately it is sort of bending a little bit. But no, it's not too bad. Right, what was I doing? Let's put that there. Oh, problem is that you have one biscuit, you get the taste. Well, I get the taste, and I'll eat loads. And I've got a few. Well, I've got 2 more. So maybe we'll have to eat them in a second as well. Grey might be better, a bit more rustic. You could well be right. Yeah, maybe the white could be a bit too like, whoa, that's white. Yeah, I haven't quite. I don't know if I've got any grey left. Have I got? Oh, yeah, stone golem grey. There we go. We'll go with that one. Again, say army paints. I've had these a year and I've not used them. So yeah. Also, I've got to give it a good old shake because this one would have been sitting around definitely for about a year. get the flame out. Well, you say that. Before I came on camera, I did set fire to this a little bit. Well, not unintentionally. Obviously, you heated it up so I can sort of bend it down, and you can just about see there is a bit of burnage going on and a little bit of a hole. So I have had a go at heating it up to bend it. Yeah, obviously I can't help myself sometimes. Right, see how that comes out. So yeah, look at that. Shaking it for what, 30 seconds, and yeah, it looks good. So yeah, I can't wait to see the paint as well, because the paints the army painter was sending me are D&D, Dungeons and Dragons paint set, and I think there might be about 60 odd paints in there. So it should be a lovely sort of like array of colours, which I can't wait to get, because I've got quite a few obviously figures I've been printing out, 3D printing obviously. These are difficult to see on the old screen because they are white, but yeah, warriors, wizards, like barbarian kind of guy. I think they're also sending me some skin tones as well. I hope. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what they're sending me, but I'm sure it's a D&D box set. I'm hoping they're sending me some skin tones, because obviously I've got quite a lot of well, skin and flesh to paint. And they're also sending me the quick wash, which I have mentioned before. It's basically like a tin. Rather than painting the wash on, you get your figure, you dip them in, and then leave them to dry, which I love the idea of. Obviously, it's not a new idea. Dip washes have been out for centuries, thousands of years, I think, apparently. But obviously, I've never used them obviously in painting, so I'm looking forward to trying out their washes. I'm not sure if they're sending me free. There's a light wash, medium, and a dark. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because obviously the idea then is I can just paint loads of these in, just get like the basic colours on, dip them, let them dry, and then go over and see if there's any like highlighted areas I need to do. But yeah, if I can just dunk these in and it gives them a nice wash, that will be pretty awesome. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot of figures I've started obviously painting. Well, not painting, but printing. So I'm looking forward to getting them painted. Right, what am I doing? I'm sponging on, that's what I'm doing. So yeah guys, don't forget, I'm going to be doing another live stream later on this evening at 6 PM UK time. And the video of showing this from start to end will be out straight afterwards at 8 o'clock PM UK time. So yeah, it'd be great if you could join me. Let's see if I can get... So there's another thing. When I'm doing this, it's not just a case of obviously me getting in a position where I can paint it well. I need to get in a position where I can film it and paint it well. And that's why I say sometimes it can be quite difficult trying to film yourself. Alright. Chop a little bit off. It'll fit in better. Right, that looks good. And I don't know, I think if I go super high, that might be better for everyone. Because otherwise things kind of get in your way and then you can't see what you're doing. And then that's no good, because the chances are it will all go Pete Tong. Alright. If I hold that like that. Alright, there we go. And yeah, that can see it. I'll get my sponge. Alright, we're good to go. Well, I can't see the button to record. I think it's that one. Right, looks like it's recording. And then dab, 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 dab. A little dab will do you. Right, And then he says optimistically, yes. Ta-da! And we've got ourselves an O2. Right, that's good for that. And then yeah, got a nice little O2 on the cylinder, which is cool. And so the good thing is, I mean, it's already paper. Because you're dabbing it, obviously it's getting paint on it, but it's not getting like super amount of paint on it. So these are good to use several times basically. And so yeah, I might actually put a number at the top or at the back. I'm not sure. I think we're going to go at the top. Again, because obviously when I make some of these things, as much as obviously I do stuff around the back, because obviously I'm going to take a picture of this from the front, then I kind of sort of concentrate more on doing things to the front, basically. Just because obviously that's the direction obviously everyone's going to see it. But yes, I do a bit of stuff around the back. But yeah, you will find a lot of my stuff is very much orientated, more stuff at the front. Lisa still can't get your printer working. Oh no. I must admit, I've had a few problems, not so much with the resin one. The resin one's been fine. I've had a few problems with the other one, the filament one, where sometimes it starts printing and then it doesn't seem to stick to the bed. So when the nozzle goes around, it nudges the whole thing and it just moves it. And then the whole thing's just sort of like being moved around and it's come like a spider's web. But yeah, the resin one seems to have worked so far, touch wood, really well. I've had to change the FEP, that sort of clear plastic at the bottom, on both of them. But that's more been my fault, or not my fault, well maybe, when I've had a few failed prints happen and obviously trying to get the resin off the FEP. Sometimes it causes it to stretch or bubble or wrinkle. But changing the FEP is really easy. I must admit, I was really worried about doing it the first time, and once you do it once, it's a doddle. So yeah, I've changed it a couple of times now, which is pretty cool. Right, my music has stopped. It's probably telling me, am I still here? Do you still want to listen? Where's the music? Oh, wrong one. Because I need me some music. Oh, there you go. Video paused. Are you still there? I am still here. Right, so it says continue watching, but you know what I mean. And there we go. Fantasy medieval music. No copyright. Awesome. I say it's just nice to have a little bit of something on in the background. So especially more so for me, because obviously you guys are watching me in your background, and you're probably doing other stuff and other things. Whereas me, if I sit here with no music, then I really am sitting in a room on my own, talking to myself with no music. Which then feels really bizarre. Right, let's stop that. And so I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another one at the top. Just because. Basically. But yeah, so I do like these stencils, especially because, was it the tank I did? Was it a tank? I think it was a tank that I first did the stencil on. And again, say something simple, doesn't take a lot of time, but it just made the tank look a bit more real. Well, it's an orc tank, so it's never going to look really real because obviously it's made up of junk stuff. But yeah, I did these little stencils and numbers. I think is a good thing to do, and say it's nice and quick and easy. And in this case, it doesn't cost anything because obviously you make your own stencils. That'll do. Right, so I'll cut the other one out, say, because I want to do like the yellow sort of warning hazard stripes. So I'm going to have these in a couple of places, and then I say I'm still not sure whether or not to do the wash. See, the thing is, I kind of like how it looks, and I know if I go for the wash, and it doesn't work or it doesn't look good, I'm then going to be like, oh man, I wish I hadn't done the wash, and I wish I could go back in time to before I did the wash. So that's why I'm now thinking, if I'm going to mess it up, I'm not going to do it, because I am now sort of rewound and at the point where I like it. So I'm waffling now as well, by the way. Right, so let's cut this other one up. Yeah, let's have a little film of this. Again, like I always say, I do film lots and lots of bits. When I come to edit it, sometimes they stay in. And like this, because I've already done cutting up a stencil, there might not be need for me to show it again. Or I might actually swap the order around and show me cutting that stencil up, then cutting this stencil up, then applying the paint. But again, I like to have more footage than I need, just because I can add bits, take bits out. Description, you're working and listening to me. Yeah, I mean, that's what most people do, isn't it? They sort of have something on and generally have me kind of on in the background, which is great. Lisa, customer service has been useless. Oh no, what printer do you have? Steve would give it one more dry brush. See, the other problem is obviously on the screen, it doesn't show it as well as I think it looks, as in the colours. I can see the silver and brown quite well. And again, I wanted it to look like it was sort of just metal that is just aged, rusty. I didn't want it like a vibrant colour of any kind. So I think I'm going to leave it as it is, because I know if I do more to it, that's why I say at the moment I like it. I think if I tried doing more stuff to it, it could go Pete Tong. Right, so this should be nice and easier to cut out, because obviously it's just lots of straight lines. No fiddly little bits really. And I say I'm looking forward to getting my new cutting mats out. I might even get some polish out and polish my desk and make it all nice and neat and all ready for the new mats. Right, that's enough filming, and yeah, I'm going to have another biscuit because I've got the munchies now. I've started, had one, and that's it. Can't stop. That's all the bits cut off. Right, there we go. The Elegoo Mars 2. Like fine 2 months ago, now it's not recognising any formats. Oh wow. Oh. So that's definitely more like a software issue, is it? Does it need updating, or can you reformat it? Oh, that's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? Have you looked on? Well, I'm kind of guessing you have looked on YouTube for sort of ways of fixing. So that's one thing obviously I love about YouTube. You can go on there and someone's broke something and then fixed it and videoed themselves fixing it. So that's how I did the old like the FEP, changing that over. Again, it's simple, but it's nice to watch someone else do it just so you know exactly what you're doing, because you don't want to mess it up basically. Right, haven't checked yet, so I'm going to have a little check now. Apparently there's 28 people watching. Have 28 people give me a thumbs up? Let's see. Oh, what can I see? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, I've got 33 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. Naughty little thumbs down guy. Cool. Right, so yeah, I'm going to do a yellow, obviously, for this, because it's meant to be warning, hazard, stay away sort of thing. Again, I haven't really got much in the way of colours. What's that one? Oh, obviously I have used this one though. Demonic yellow is a yellow I have used, because that doesn't feel very heavy at all. So obviously I have used some army paints. I'll probably use that on the Orc Gorkanaut that I made out of Sprues. Because obviously I used the yellow for that, so that must be what I use that for. Yeah, we'll use this. So these are good old cheap paints. I think I bought a pack of about 30 odd paints. I think it's about £26. But yeah, £26, and you get about 30 of these. So obviously if you're painting some bigger things, then yeah, these are pretty cool. And a good variety of colours. Oh yeah, that's definitely a yellow. And again, I'm going to use obviously the sponge and sort of sponge it on really. Where shall we put this? Oh, I think we might just go like that and go across those pipes. And again, we'll have a go at filming this. Yeah, so it's always trying to find the right angle to be able to film and do what I'm doing. Right, so just like that. So that's what I love. I love these arms though. These arms. I think it's about £16, I think, for this arm. And it's great because obviously it just moves around. You can have it so it's locked off. So I've got them like roughly sort of tightened up, just so I can move it, and then obviously it stays where I move it. But yeah, so if you're going to do like any kind of videoing, again, you don't need expensive stuff. Use your phone. Get one of these. So this is about £17, and then I've got a light that's attached to my desk as well. And that's kind of all you need to start obviously filming, making videos, and getting them on YouTube really. Or itchy nose. Alright. Right, I think that will work. Lazarus, morning. Morning to you, buddy. Right. Right. And there we go. And I think we'll have a couple of those on here, or one of them on here as well. Yeah, so everyone who's just joined, obviously this is like the ending of me building some like modular terrain for Necromunda out of sprues. Pretty much done. Again, obviously painted this morning, really giving it a couple of light dry brushes, just because I didn't want too sort of like blocky colours on this, and I wanted this to sort of still look old, derelict, and sort of obviously unused. So yeah, literally I've gone over it with a brown, just dry brushed that on, then dry brushed some silver, just to obviously hit the edges to make it look like the obviously the metal's worn down a bit. Was considering putting some rust effects on it, but I like how it looks, so I don't want to do the rust effects in case I mess it up and then don't like the look of it. So I'm going to leave it rust free. And yeah, now I'm just finishing it off with some stencils basically. These are just homemade ones, obviously bits of paper, and then just cut out numbers and sort of chevron kind of things. So say this is a short stream this morning, so I obviously want to finish this off, and then now I need to go and edit this video. So this video will be out later tonight, 8 PM UK time, but I'm going to do a live stream prior to this going live, and the live stream will be from 6 PM. I'm not sure what I'm doing in the live stream yet. I've got a few things turning up today, some packages, so I might sort of open those up on the live stream. But so I have got other projects that I'm kind of working on, so I might just grab one of the other projects I'm working on and obviously carry on working on that and chat with you guys, and yeah, wait for the premiere of this video basically. Yes, okay, nice and easy. That's why I say stencils are awesome. Obviously you can buy them, and obviously you get much more variety of what you can buy. But yeah, for simple little stencil or simple looking things, just make them yourself. Bits of paper. I would say a few of these that I've made before, I have kept, because obviously once that dries, then it's not going to obviously break or tear or anything. And yeah, it can be used quite a few times. But obviously, if you wanted to, you could get the like acetate or acetone paper, the clear thin film paper. Obviously, 'cause that's more durable and stronger than paper. So if you want to make stencils up that you want to obviously last longer, you can buy that. But I say for the sake of some paper, yeah, well worth doing. I think they just add something to the piece. So I think I might do a few just with the lines, and not obviously everything. Yeah, let's just do the lines there, I think. A bit messy, but that's fine. And I think we'll do one more over here. Oh, Steve, sorry to hear that. Blimey. Well, I hope he's alright, buddy. I hope everything's okay. Right, so yeah, I'm going to do this little stencil, and yeah, I think that'll be the end of the stream, guys. So cheers for being here. Let's say I just get this one on, and then it will be a case of me editing all the footage together, and then doing the old voiceover. Yeah, get it ready for later on, really. Gosh. Right, let's have a clean up of my fingers. And yeah, there we go. So there's a paint that keeps bending up. I have to get more flame on this bit. yeah, there we go. That's kind of it done, really, guys. Yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a short, sweet one this morning. It really was just for me to finish off painting this, get it ready. I say now I've done the filming. I did a bit more filming of obviously the whole thing complete. Take some pictures of it, get the thumbnail done, and yeah, edit the whole thing together and get it ready for this evening. So yeah, guys, I will be back. Obviously, say later, 6 PM. I'll be doing the live stream. So if you can join me then, that'll be awesome. Whatever you're doing. And so yeah, 8 PM, the video of this in its sort of entirety. So it should only be about a 10-minute video, 12 minutes maybe. Nice and short and sweet, but just shows the whole process that you guys have obviously been watching for the last sort of 2-3 days. So that'll be cool. Yeah, obviously, yeah, like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff, guys. Obviously, I have got a playlist that has all these live streams in. If you're going out and about and doing stuff, and you've got obviously a home computer, stick one of the live streams on of the playlist. Because again, that just helps my channel out, because obviously it means the videos are getting engagement and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Right, well, Steve, I hope everything's okay, buddy. Yeah, let us know later on how you gets on. Yeah, Lisa, you can get back to sleep. Hopefully see you later. Yeah, okay, cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. I say I'm now going to go off and, well, do a bit of editing and get this all ready for later on. Okay, guys, that's it. Bye for now.